This time I'm really going off, fireworks.
Oh, today it begins. I've missed them before, but won't miss them again. I keep having the same dream, and I think that I just realized what it means.
All I see is fireworks. All I see is fireworks.
Hi everyone, on review today is, as you can see, Dior Homme by Christian Dior, and the perfume behind this masterpiece that's just praised like crazy on YouTube is Olivier Polish, my favorite perfume, and he created my signature scent, Midnight in Paris. Now, Olivier Polish also did the cologne version of Dior Homme, and of course Dior Homme Intense. A lot of other fragrances that he makes, like Kenzo Power and even Midnight in Paris, kind of have the same theme going on, a masculine sort of vibe with floral and cocoa. He likes to use cocoa a lot, or tonka. Usually it's one of the two, with some floral notes that he likes to play with. That seems to be his theme for a lot of fragrances, and he's just an amazing perfume. He's my favorite. So that being said, you guys should already have a good idea of how I feel about this fragrance. I absolutely love it. Most people do on YouTube, and I'm no exception. I love it too. So, Dior Homme was introduced in 2005. And it comes in a lot of different sizes, a lot. And I love it when companies do that, give you a variety just in case, say it's your signature scent and you're a college student, or, you're strapped for cash and you want to, smell good, but you really don't want to justify spending the extra dough on a bigger bottle that might cost $80. You can get the smaller bottle. So it's always good when companies do that. There is the 1 ounce, the 1.3 ounce, the 1.7 ounce, the 3.4 ounce, and the 6.8 ounce. Now, in US dollars, it's going to cost you anywhere between $55 and $150. So I like the variety. It's definitely a good marketing idea to have a bunch of different sizes. I personally own 2 bottles. I've got this guy right here. This is the original formula. They did reformulate it. As you can see with this, I don't know if you want to call it a stem. I really don't know what you would call it, but it's part of the atomizer anyways. So that's like a silverish, copperish sort of color. Of course, you've got CC at the top there. Or CD, I mean. That's the cap. And this is the sprayer. You got Christian Dior around the silver sprayer. And the top does not have Christian Dior imprint as the new bottle does. And this is the newly formulated bottle, 3.4 ounce. As you can see between the two, the new formulated juice is a little darker. It's actually like a whole shade darker. And you got the black tube here now. And everything else is about the same. CD on the top there. Looks the same inside. Of course, Christian Dior around the outside there. And this time there's a CD on the top there. So, this is the 100 ml. This is the 50 ml. Now, for all you wondering out there, if there is a big difference between the new formula and the old formula, I'm about to answer that right now. On my right arm, I have the new formula, and on my left, I have the old formula. Now, basically, the new formula is a little more subtle than the old formula. If you know what it smells like already, I'm answering your question right now. The newer formula is a little more subtle, less in your face iris, less feminine, and the older formula is more potent. That's the difference. A little more iris, a little more potent. It lasts longer, it projects better. The old version does. But other than that, I mean, it's still a really great fragrance. I don't know why they felt the need to reformulate it. Don't ask me. It is pretty annoying when companies do that. I get just as annoyed as anyone else, especially because this is one that I absolutely adore. So for both note lineups, for the new one and the old one, it's reformulated, but he didn't add any new notes. It's the same exact thing, just more toned down, I guess. And the notes in the fragrance are lavender, sage, and bergamot for the top notes, cocoa, iris, of course, amber, and cardamom in the middle. And at the base note, on the base notes, you have patchouli, vetiver, and leather. So the way this plays out on my skin is it starts out really fresh with that iris, like fresh scent, like almost like clean, like a clean, fresh scent. But then it starts to get like this buttery cocoa vanilla sort of vibe. And I love it. Like it'd be a buttery, thick, creamy sort of iris. Iris does that with a few other fragrances. Like we know Andy Tauer. Andy Tauer loves to use iris in his fragrance compositions because it has that buttery type sort of feel. And depending on what you put with it, what notes you pair with it, it could come out to be an extremely unique fragrance. And this is one of those. It's unique, it's different, and it's definitely a different take on a masculine fragrance. Now, a lot of people, they complain and say that this is really feminine. But I asked a few of my girlfriends, friends that are girls, what they thought about the fragrance, if they thought that it was feminine, girly, whatever. And they said no. I actually compared it to a few other fragrances. I wore New Harlem and Tobacco Vanille on each one of my hands. And then I put Dior Homme on my wrists and let them smell the difference between the three fragrances. And they said that Dior Homme was the most masculine out of all of them, which I felt was pretty hard to believe. I couldn't believe that, especially with, the coffee and the tobacco. Like Tobacco Vanille with that tobacco, heavy tobacco, and then New Harlem with the coffee. I really couldn't believe that they thought Dior Homme was more masculine than both of those. So that's just an interesting side note that I thought I'd let you all in on. As far as versatility with this fragrance, I think that it's meant for 25 and up. You're about to end college. You're about to become a young professional. You're going out in the world and creating a name for yourself. That's what it's meant for. I use it. I love it. If you love it, use it. Who cares? I don't see high school girls appreciating this as much, though, to be honest with you. And as a matter of fact, I've had a few girls my age say that it smells strange. So that's feedback that I've been given, strange. I've been told it smells sexy too, but I just want to throw that out there that some girls at my age will think it smells a little weird. Mostly because most male fragrances don't contain iris. So I'd say 25 and up, young professional, making a name for yourself. Or if you really like iris, you can pull this off if you're 20 or older. If you're a little bit more mature, definitely check this one out. Projection, with this one, the original formula, it projects very well for the first 2 hours, and then it becomes close to my skin. With this one, it projects for the first hour, and then it becomes very close to my skin. So new formula, 1 hour of really great projection, and then close to my skin. Old formula, 2 hours of great projection, and then close to my skin. You'll still smell both. They both leave great scent trails, so don't worry about that. You'll be able to smell it. It's just that for the first couple hours with the old formula, it projects very, very well. You can smell me from a few feet away. And then it becomes a little closer. And then you kind of get drawn in. And then with, of course, the new formula, it's just an hour or so. And then it still, projects okay. And it comes closer to the skin and invites you in. Now, sprays. I do one on the front of the neck, one on the back of the neck, and then one on each wrist. I do 4. Other people, such as Mark, Robes08, he suggested 3, and he said that less is more with this fragrance. I agree. I wouldn't go over 4, but I do like the added projection. So I usually, just to add a little bit, coming from this direction and this direction, I like the scent trail. So that's just me, though. Longevity with both of these fragrances. Okay, with this one, the original formula, this lasts about 8 to 10 hours on my skin, and the new formula lasts 6 or 7. So that is the big difference. Basically, between the two, the older formula is more potent. That's it. And the complement factor with this fragrance. Like I said, it's middle of the road. You have to be able to take yourself seriously, and others have to take you seriously. I really don't see someone that's silly, a jokester or something like that, pulling this fragrance off as well as someone that could be taken a little bit more mature. Just because it's the type of fragrance it is. It's a professional type fragrance. It's got a very high-class feel to it. I absolutely adore this fragrance. It's great. Great fragrance. An all-star work scent, an all-star upper-class event. You need to dress formally. It's amazing. A wedding. Out to a fancy restaurant. Anything goes. A lot of people would say that this works better in the fall and winter. I honestly use it all year long. That is why there's this much gone in this one, and there's a chunk gone out of this one. Actually, I got this in a swap. It was a little bit fuller than this, but I have been using this quite frequently. So, that is that. The compliments do roll in if you can be taken seriously. I really do think that it's a personality match with this fragrance. There's some fragrances that anyone can pull off. This is not one of those. This takes a certain type of person to be able to pull it off. So, that being said, if you're okay with the makeup lipstick sort of scent the iris can give off, then definitely check this out. Great iris, cocoa, vanilla, and lavender sort of mixture. And then, of course, towards the base notes, towards the end of the fragrance, you get a lot of that nice powdery leather, very soft leather, and vetiver and patchouli combination that makes it a little bit more masculine towards the end of the scent life. So it starts out somewhat feminine and gets progressively masculine throughout the fragrance. I love it from top to bottom, and I give it a 10 out of 10. It is a masterpiece by Olivier Polch. In my eyes, it's probably his second best fragrance, being that I like Midnight in Paris the most. This would be my second favorite by Olivier Polch. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you all later.